everyone, I am back and I'm going to be documenting my first day in this journal. So I have two photos. It's of my daughter opening her advent calendar on December 1st. We always get two advent calendars usually. One is a chocolate advent calendar, and then we find some other kind of like fun advent calendar. For this year, she picked one that had like little fidgety type of things. She's 17, but she doesn't care. She loves just getting little things like this. It just kind of makes it a little more enjoyable the days. So she picked this little fidget advent calendar, and then we had, like I said, the chocolate one. Fortunately, the chocolate one seemed a bit stale. You know how the chocolate gets a little bit white and funky? She said it still tastes good and it's with an expiration, so she keeps eating it. But yeah, it wasn't so nice this year. But anyway, I'm going to journal the Advent today on this page, I think. Like I said, it's day one, but I don't necessarily have to document it on this first page. So I could move it over this way, or I can keep it on this page. It's a bit busy, but for some reason I do kind of like it on this page. So I'm either going to do that, or I'm going to make this like an intro page instead of an actual like day one, for instance. I'm not quite sure. I do like it on there. It does stand out a bit more. So maybe that's what I'll do. And then I'll keep this like an intro page. I still got to figure out what to put on it. It's just really pretty. So I don't know if I want to put the photos there. So just deciding what I want to do. Decisions. So yes, I think I'm going to make this like a title page, and then I will do the photos on this page. And I just need to clip this book down because it is kind of popping up a little bit and it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm going to add some clips just to weigh it down a little bit. Maybe. Maybe I'll bend the spine a little bit. Just bend it down just a little bit. This is cracking a little bit. This is that music paper. I did put tape on the one side, but I think I'm going to add a little bit of tape on this side too, just to be on the safe side. This is just like a gift wrapping tape, and you can't really see it. I mean, yes, it does have a gloss to it, but you really can't see it because it's clear. So I don't really mind that. So I think I'm actually going to use, I have a bigger clip, and it's probably going to have a little bit of weight to it. So let me see if that's a little better. Yeah, that holds it down a little bit better. So I think that's going to make it a little easier to work on the page. So I'll throw that back in there, and I'll work on this page. So like I said, it's the Advent. I need to find some letter stickers, I think, that's going to go with this kit. The sticker sheet that came with the Doodlebug kit does not have actual like letters, but it does have this little cute sticker strips here, these word strips. Let's see if there's anything about Advent on here. Don't see anything about Advent. So I might go into my stash of letters and find something that has Advent. And I think what I'm going to do, just because I know how I am, I would love to do like a just talking video and then scrapbook, but I just know that I'm really bad at that, and I will hem-haw and forget to speak and all that kind of stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is pull some stuff out of my stash to try to figure out how I want to do these photos, and then I will probably do a voiceover, I think, of this page. Just kind of depends. If I end up pulling enough stuff that I can kind of talk my way through it, then I might do that too. But yeah, so I will be back in just a little bit once I kind of figure out what I want to put on this page. Hi everyone, I am back, and it is voiceover Kelly, not live Kelly. Decided that trying to do a a live voice recording while I was scrapbooking was not going to work very well for me. So I decided to just do the voiceover instead, because I think, one, I can speed up the video just a little bit. I ended up increasing the speed by about 150% instead of just the regular 100, because I do move a little slow, and I don't know, I like to watch videos that are a little bit more faster paced. Hopefully you guys do too, and I could just voice over what I'm doing. So I first wanted to figure out kind of how I wanted to lay everything out. I pulled out some embellishments and things like that. I am going to be punching a hole in the top of this tag and then adding a white eyelet to the top. I thought that looked nice. It kind of went with the vibe. I have only a couple different colors here. I do need to get some more of these, but I decided white might work the best. And then when I put this eyelet on, I end up squeezing it just a little too tight and it kind of crimps the paper. So I have to go through and kind of like flatten it out a little bit so that it's not so crimped up. And that worked just fine. And I know next time not to squeeze quite so hard with these tags. The eyelets that came with the crocodile were pretty soft. They are a We Are Memory Keepers eyelet, and I think those seem to work the best. I just need to get more in my stash because right now I just don't have very many kinds, like the different colors. So I'll fiddle with this a little bit, and then once everything looks kind of flat, I put it back down. I am going to grab this Stampin' Up ribbon. I don't like my tags being naked. I do want to add something to the top of that. I'll just trim off a little piece of this and put it through the tag. And then that will look really nice. And then I'll just trim the ends off that are extra. And then I'll end up gluing this all down to the page. Then I do want to add something more to that bottom photo, and I want something in the background of the tree. I will be flipping through the sticker book that I have there on the left-hand side, and I will look to see if something I can find will go nicely with it, and I pick a wreath, and then I end up swapping out that top card with the ornament with this piece instead. I just like the multicolored border better than I'd liked the all green. And I thought more white would just look nice. So I ended up switching that out and I thought it was a nice layer there in the back. So here's that sticker book. It is from Simple Stories and the colors go pretty well with the Doodlebug collection. So I am looking, I kind of thought maybe to do that little mouse circle for journaling spot, but I ended up deciding that I will just put some wreath in the background or a wreath in the background. So here I'm just flipping through. I decide the wreath is going to work best, and I think the colors look nice with this. And I don't want to waste the sticker and have it all hidden behind there, so I do trim part of the sticker off, and I'll add that back to the sticker sheet, and I'll use that at a different time. This way my stickers kind of last a bit longer, if you will. So just trimming that up, sticking that back down on the sheet, and then I think that is a nice layer in the background. Once I get that kind of where I want it, I will start sticking down the photos and the tree and everything else that's on the page. And I'm really wanted to put some dimension on that Christmas tree, but I decided that I really want to keep this book as flat as possible. So I'm just going to glue it straight to the page and not put any dimensional like adhesive or anything behind it. But that would have been something I would have probably done in some of my other albums. But like I said, just trying to keep this one pretty flat. I want to make sure everything fits in here and it doesn't bulge out too much. I know I'm going to get some girth, if you will, to the album, but I didn't want it to be too much. So I'm going to try to keep everything, like I said, flat, not really using very dimensional embellishments, things like that. Just gluing all down. And then once I get this all glued down, I felt like I needed more of that green ribbon on this page. It felt like towards the bottom right-hand corner of the page, it was a little bland and boring. So I'm going to pull out some other stickers to stick on, but then I'm also going to do kind of like a ribbon, what's it called? Like a gathered ribbon on the bottom, just to add or bring that ribbon from the top left to the bottom right. It just seems to add a nice weight to everything. Now I'm just pulling out some stars that match the colors on the page, and I thought these would go well and just add a little extra. I felt like there just needed be a little bit more on this. And then I'm going to pick a strip, a word strip, and it's going to say Christmas treats because she's opening. It's not really food treats, but it's treats in the sense that there's something fun and a treat for her to have on just a normal day, I guess. Then I'm going to put the word Advent. This is from an old sticker sheet. I think it was from Simple Stories. I was super surprised that I actually had enough letters because I think I've had this little sticker sheet for forever. And I had just enough to spell out the word Advent. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to incorporate that word Advent with the journaling strips that I put in. And you're not going to see that to the very end. And it's probably going to be easier to tell in the video, but it ended up perfect and I didn't even plan it. I actually did journaling strips. I always type my journaling on my vintage typewriter and then cut the strips out of white paper. I just really like the look of that, and I don't really like handwriting on these pages. And when I ended up laying everything out, all the journaling, it worked perfectly that in the part of the journaling where I had the word Advent is exactly where the strips landed to meet up with the word Advent that I stuck on the page on stickers. So it was really perfect. Didn't even try to do that, and it worked out really, really well. So I was super excited about that. That never really happens for me. So it was nice to have a pleasant surprise. So what I'm doing now is I used the dry adhesive to get this down initially, and because I gathered it up and there's a little bit of flaps on the ribbon, I'm adding just a little bit of Fabri-Tac so that everything kind of lays flat. So you can just see here, I'm just kind of smushing everything down so the ribbon lays flat and it doesn't stick up and flop around too much. So like I said, after this, I'm going to add my journaling on, and I think that's pretty much it. I will show you a close-up of what it looks like now, and then a close-up of the journaling. And that is day one. I will be back soon, hopefully, with day two. Thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and add comments below if you have anything to ask. Thanks. Bye.